Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. Well, today we're going to do a bunch of things. Now, last episode we kind of built that new little kind of a train station import-export area within our industrial area. I want to work with expanding that. Now, I know last episode we put down so much zoning that for quite a while right now we ain't going to be able to do anything until all that zoning has been fully completed. So also today, I want to build a new industry. We have our farming industry down, and that is the only industry that we have right now. We recently created some mountains last episode, so I want to take a look at building a ore industry as well. So things are about to get a lot more exciting. Now, if you do enjoy this episode, guys, you want to see more, then make sure you do smash that like button down below. If you're on the right here, make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when the next episode does come out. And brief. Right, we're back. So I did a little bit of work since last episode. I did a little bit of improvements right now. I sunk down some of it. I elevated some of the roads. It all doesn't look too shabby. Now, what I want to do is just kind of zone it a bit more, well, the roads anyway, and at the moment they're still using this train station. The whole reason for this here is to get them from congesting up this whole system. And so what I'm going to do is, one of the big issues is to have these big warehouses nearby. I'm going to build some down here so some of these guys go to this instead of going to that one. I could move them, but I'll keep them in. And I ain't going to zone any in industrial areas because we just don't have the demands right now. I've spent so much on filling on all these little nooks and crannies and gaps. It's going to take a while before we have any demands coming back. So what I'm going to do, before we go on to build our beautiful little ore industry, we're going to extend these roads. So bringing that down just to there because I need to figure out the spacing that I can have for a big warehouse. Now, I want some big boys. I don't know whether to go this way or kind of make it go that way, if you know what I mean. It's a bit of a tough one at the moment. Let me kind of bring this down to here. Do they fit in sideways? Oh, no, you kind of fall a little bit too short, but that's okay. That is okay right now. Can I get away with doing it by another 10? Let me just go to there to begin with. No. Okay, so either way, we're working on this. We are working on this right now. So we'll bring that down to there. Now I'm actually going to bring this down to here by 20 so we can kind of split it up slightly. Bring this down to here by 20. I can get one in just there, which will be perfectly fine. And how far should I take this? Now, if that came down to here for just a second, I just want to try and create my connections. Right, so there, let me delete back a bit because you gotta account for that additional one extra node. That's why it's an 11 just on that side. Bringing this all the way down. So there will be a point where we don't quite match up with that because of this, because it will take place there in the ditch. But leave it like that because we've created our little runs. So you don't do too many kind of connections here, there, and everywhere, but I will do it every so often. So we do a 10 going down, we do it by a 10 going down, we do it by a 10 going down. And once you start to work with this area, we'll work with more underpasses, overpasses to avoid this road to be able to progress. And I mean, they're already using this quite a lot, but I want to take it to the next stage. So I could tear through the middle of this, or I could just completely drop down a bunch of these going like this. It does create more connections, but I don't know how busy this area is going to be just yet, so we'll kind of see what happens. Maybe these roads here need to be kind of more dedicated straight, but hey ho. So what we'll do then is we'll squeeze in a little warehouse there, which you get two kind of gap on both sides. I could definitely do one down here as well. There we go. We're getting one here, so kind of going off by there. It's a 3 and a 3 on the zoning on each side. And we'll do one just there. So there's quite a lot we've thrown in. There's quite a lot of them here. And if we get them all to be kind of commercial goods, it then slowly pushes the goods down to this side where we have the double train system all implemented in. Which the way we've set it up is predominantly, depending on what side you're currently on, is the closest one to you, as that kind of bends up and over into there, which we've got to progress this a little bit further down. To be honest with you, actually, if I cancel this, just for the funsies, and to kind of break up the the ordinary stuff that's going on. Have it like this. Now, I'll tell you why in just a sec. Let me just kind of make this as big as I can. Because that is the main road that goes under the tunnels of this side, we've kind of created a straight run to get to this train station, which for them could be pretty handy. It really could. So with that all now being what it is, I think it would also be a good idea to maybe try and implement this over... Actually, no. Actually, I won't. We'll leave that as it is because it's designated separate for shipping. But we'll leave it as it is. Yeah, we'll leave it as it is. Now, so we probably will see a lot of traffic around this area as they start to fill up these warehouses. But once the goods are stored locally to these two stations are their closest option. So yes, the majority of these warehouses might go to this one, but this one is perfectly set up for everybody around here. So it's all good. It will all even out eventually. It will all even out eventually. So we'll give that some time just to kind of do what it's got to do. We do have a little bit of backlog change, which it was quite bad. It's kind of died down a little bit since we've got these implemented and this additional line going all the way around. So we've eased the burden as it is. You've just still got the tail back slightly of trains trying to get in. This will always be busy. This will always be busy. So I don't know if I should maybe add a second train station on this side. Like there. And then utilize that second line there as being the other way they connect in. Because it'll be handy for the warehouse and people trying to connect from this road. We'll see how this changes it first. Because they're still going to bring the goods into there. It doesn't change any of that. But I want to see how much this changes just this area in general before we kind of think about or progress with that. So you can start to see all the traffic right now driving down to kind of fill this up. It will eventually even out once the warehouses are full. So you just got to give it a little bit of time. So, I'm going to take a sip of my cup of tea right now. Hold on. I think we're now ready to progress and build our ore industry, which is going to be kind of crazy. So, last episode, we kind of built this. We started playing around with some of the mountains on the edge. These are going to be the lower ones. As we progress a little bit more forward, they might get a little bit higher. I might turn this into a stream that runs downhill. I don't know. But I'm going to build the ore industry in this little kind of valley, if that's what you want to call it. The higher we go, the more mining. At the bottom is the production where we turn it into products. Now, to be able to get over here, I'm going to have a numerous amounts of things. We'll probably have, well, 100% we're going to have a highway connection. That is a given. We're going to have a train connection. And I'm not too sure whether we're going to have a shipping connection for them. I don't know. But then again, we did do it for the farming industry. So more than likely, we probably are. Now, highways, we have the highway extending this way in a singular lane. But we also have over here the highway that needs to continue. So this will continue over here. I go over there. It will slightly turn, avoiding all these hills. And then crisscross here in a 4 connection. It will then progress down, probably bend a little bit to go a little bit more flat over to there. And that will kind of go all the way around and then connect to the other end of this. So that completes then our outer loop. Then at some point here, this little 2 section will kind of connect before this crosses over. So we've got a more direct route for the inner loop and the shipping area over here to connect directly to it. So they might even just drive over down here to there. You just never know. You just never know how it's going to rock and roll. But the road layouts are going to be pretty good. They're going to be pretty solid when it comes to the highway side of things. Now, what I need to do is figure out where that's going to take place, that crossing, because it then lines up how we do the rest of the highway cutting all up. So that's going to be fairly interesting as well. So let's just get that up and running first, and we can figure out pretty much the rest for us. So what heights have we been using? I'm sure they're like a +10, right? Yeah. Now, I've done an actual crossing over here. And what height is that? That is a +4? Are you sure about that? +8? +14? It's all over the place. I think we'll push it up to about a 20. But yeah, we'll kind of work with this first then. So let's figure this out. I always forget which side of the road they're driving on. I really do. So they're coming down this way. So I'm pumping it out this way then. So I also need to leave a bit of room here for the buildings. So if I just go to here, I know I can use the parallel tool, but I just need to work with my angles to begin with. And bringing that down to there. There we go. That is the highway ready to rock and roll. So it will come down here and then bend round. We'll have a little on and off ramp there, which gives us this huge kind of flat plain area for the production buildings of creating the goods, and then as we go up the hill, this is where all the mining then begins. So it gives us a fair amount of room for an ore industry. Now everyone says, yo Seniac, you gotta stop using this parallel road tool here. You really have to stop using it and maybe, you know, use the one in here. Is there one in here? I forget which one it is. This one here, it's right here. Create parallels. So how do I create parallels? How does this work? Ah, gotcha. Genius. Right, we might continue with that then. So we'll get to this point here by 10, and then we'll start pumping it up. And I'll pump it up to 20. Or is 20, do you reckon 20 too much? We'll bring it down to a 15. But at this point then, we're starting to go bridge style. So where's the snap? The snap is there. Bring it to there. And then we'll bring it down to 10. And then down... Yeah, it's on 10 right now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, let me undo that. I'm on 9. Whoopsie. And there we go. So that doesn't actually play out too well with the old bridges. There we go there. There we go. Just with the design that we're kind of working with. I'll wait for a ship to pass under just to make sure that we're at like a reasonable height. I'd also get rid of this if I'm doing a parallel road tool. So I see how that's now making things a lot easier. I see. Right. So I know this is not going to be enough. But I just want to wait for it to kind of clip into it. So it hits it just there. So if I pick you and just raise... Oh, hang on, I'm missing this one. Let me undo. And raise you to about there, boy. So if I go from... If I select you, and then get these points just to quickly align to the height of here. Then I'm just doing the quickest way I know possible right now. So there to there is raised. There to there. Oop, to there is raised. So that's high enough, and then we'll progress down to there. Nice and easy. And then we'll progress down to there. Nice and easy. So we go up and over. No dramas, mate. No dramas. The ships are able to handle it. Nice. So then, seeing as we use the parallel road tool right now, I ain't got to worry too much about anything else, do I? So then if I... well, I need to pick a spot where we can do the plus. So I think it will kind of take place about here. So if I pushed... And where was that again, sorry? Down by 10. So I just need to get a connection here. I might use the connection tool for that. For me to go straight here to here. There we go. And obviously that road there will eventually connect up to this, so... I don't know whether to kind of bring it out a bit further first. Yeah, I'm going to bring it out a bit further. So I brought it out to there. That can definitely come down and then kind of have a decent connection here. And we're going to wiggle this all the way up. Or do you reckon that's a little bit too far? No, I need the space for the big crisscross, don't I? So yes, it is quite dramatic, but this is how we're rocking and rolling with it. So trying to select the edge. So if I went like that, nice little bend round, plus symbol just there, and it's going to go across, down to here, across there, and then connect to there. I know that's quite long-winded, but I'm trying to pull it away. We will have that additional connection to it, and we'll create that in. So I won't do the crisscross just yet. I'm just creating my highway connection so I can get everything rocking and rolling. Let me now just sort out this parallel road situation. Because I've never done this before, so this will be kind of interesting. Oh, we're going quite a long way now, aren't we? Have I got to do it in stages? Yeah, to there. To there. To there. Right to the end. So how does this work then? So I take it plus pulls it away. I actually don't know the spacing. This could be bad news. Should I go 32? Do you reckon 32 seems reasonable? Looking at the spacings between them. I'll go 32. Enter. Now, yeah, it's facing the opposite way, right? Yes. And it's just... Does it incline with it as well? Oh, that's amazing. So I'm just going to make sure that I do the right sections for the bridge. What's going on here, guys? What's going on here with this bridge? Why is it doing this? For what reason do they think that's a good idea? Right, we'll add this section in ourselves. That went completely all over the place, didn't it? Yeah. Also, I've got it the wrong way around. No, that's a normal one. Appreciate it. So, now I've got to sort this out. This is shambolic. Right, so from there, where do you reckon? So about here. Object height of you. Yeah, them towers are about right. Okay, once I've done this, we'll then focus on the rest of it. Oh, did I not do that side either? Alright, that's all good. Oh, I see what I've done. Right, okay, let me get you. I'm such a dum-dum. Oh! No, undo. You, object height to you. Right, this should work out. This should now work out. So, obviously, from there to there, or raised, from there to there. What a pain. What an actual pain, but we've got it done. So, beautiful then. It creates these little enclaves and exclaves and stuff like that in terms of inner land around the highway situation. So it means I can maybe run the highway, the train line down here too, rather than as it goes around there, bring it up to then bend that way. And it creates these little kind of cool little sticky in and out bits, which when we did these around here, we managed to create like a university kind of section just there and all that kind of jazz. So it does create these unique little areas. It really does. So we'll get that connected at some point in the future. We're just going to get the highway skadoodling past a little bit more. And there we go. And I don't actually know if that is the right spacing. By God, it is the right spacing. So we'll have our little on and off ramp just there. That will kind of just bend up, go straight down here, then eventually connect down to there. I ain't worried too much about that at the minute. But let's now create the entry point to this area. So we want it normal style. We want it on the floor of this 4-lane road. And we'll pick it about there. That's fine. So bringing this up. There we go. And it's going to be around this area in the middle. Where it's going to start shooting up. So if I picked... How's that? It's a dramatic rise up, but we're going into the hills, boys. Into the hills. So bringing that down to there. Bringing that down to there. Where's the snap, crackle, pop? (15 by 16). I'll take it, mate. So nice straight road in. We'll have to might do what we've done here, like create a little roundabout and whatnot. But I don't know where that's going to take place just yet. I don't know how far this road is going to lead up before we come to an end. I think we'll kind of progress it. I might even like stick a roundabout on and let it kind of spill off in its own ways. But this is where it kind of starts to get a little bit more kind of industrial with all the buildings. That makes no sense. So what type of road did I use over here then? We'll use these little side streets, which I do like that style, and I think I'm going to keep around here. So let's pick a couple of points then. We've got the road bending around there, so I think we'll stick around about here. Bringing that just to there. I might stick a little bit of a roundabout just there, because we're having multiple points of entry to both sides. And then we'll actually stick a roundabout in here on this end piece. And that's where the road will then go off on its own two ways to collecting all the resources. So multiple roundabouts as we enter in. We'll come back to those. We will come back to those. So let's first then build our main building. Where should we have the actual main building right now? I feel like it would be quite nice up here overlooking the area. So let's say that this road kind of tore through a little bit up to here. There we go. And we do a nice little 5 by 5, 5 by 5. Bringing it down. We'll do another 5 by 5. Cut it in. And this is where we can build the main building. A couple of our worker barracks can be up here too. So this is the beginning, boys. This is the beginning of our beautiful ore industry. Now, yes, granted, I have no resources painted down just yet. I will get them in. But the main building. There we go. Pearl ore extraction site. We need a name for this, don't we? Did we eventually come up with a name for this? We didn't, did we? No. Interesting. So, let me paint the industrial area. Go get a bit bigger. So, I'm going to go completely over the top. Just because I don't know how big we're going to go. So OTT is the best situation. There we go. Just going to paint all this in here. And then we're back on it, boys. We're back on it. Oh my god, this takes longer than I thought when you're painting such a wide area. Great stuff. Great stuff. We will have train lines that do kind of come up and over. So here's like where it ditches down. It's like the train line comes up. It could progressively go over there. It could even come up this side. Depends on where we kind of take and all this kind of good stuff. But there we go. We've got the main building, which means we can now work with the rest of it. So in terms of the industry then, we'll first start looking at the buildings that kind of mine the ore. So I know that's going to be a roundabout. We'll just kind of continue this road for now. There we go. We're going to be going down in this side, so we will have to slightly then angle this. So a nice little wiggle. We'll go straight for a little bit longer. We'll have all little roads that kind of dig out. And then what's the bend here then? So I think what we'll do, we'll get up to here and we'll do something very similar to what we've just done for the main building. We'll create this little turning point. And go it down to there. Create a little turning point as like a little dead end, and we'll have little roads that maybe like then cut off in certain areas. So, extraction areas then. How big are the actual... So if I went for the... Is this the big boy? 11,200. 9,600. Are these offshore ones? Yeah. Right, so that is the big boy. How big is that big boy? Okay, so I might pump it back by 10. Do a 10 little line. Pump it to that little section just there. Where we'll then start to get a couple of mines that slightly dig in to the foundations of... I do a free gap of the hillside. I got a free gap at the very end. Interesting. So slightly dig into it. We'll do all the terraforming to make it look kind of nice. We got a nice little row there of extractors. We'll still go all up and kind of like good stuff, but I want us to do like a very, very basic version to begin with, and to see how it progresses. So I could also implement, if you think about it logically, what I could do is hook in a train station just here. There we go. Which can progress the train line down that way. That's why we got that nice little loop. And then we'll have like another one down here. Connects to the major train line. Some ships too. So we're kind of covering ourselves on all aspects and all angles and all areas. So gotta be careful not to go too far maybe into here. Or I could go. It's not a problem. Just gotta be wary that I will be playing around with the train line. So, you know, take care on it. So we'll bring up to there and we'll go across by 40. We'll bring this down in a straight line as well, which will connect it up to this here. So bringing this, actually no, we'll go back by to there. Nah, halfway. We'll meet us almost halfway. So that's there, 21. So if I do it up to here, if I bring this up by a little bit more, and that connection, 11 by 11, slight little bend to kind of run with it. So we're getting two different run rows. We're getting one that's directly on the roundabout. Oh, that might be a bit too close for the roundabout. But it's more of a case of then you have these little kind of areas where you can pull out and build some stuff either side. If I go out by 15 there, I might have to reconfigure that, but we'll come back to it. So for the industrial side then, we're going to go for the larger underground mines, and we'll do these just running along here. So we'll do a free gap, and just there. So it kind of slightly comes to the edge. We'll do a bit more terraforming and whatnot. We'll then take a look at, we got these smaller ones. We also have these medium ore mines, which are they look like a larger facility, which kind of allow you to dig in a bit more to certain areas. It gives that little mound area to kind of work with. So just slowly progressing. That's all we're doing, is just slowly progressing up. So giving that space, keeping it free for a train line to eventually run through. But we'll also create as well. So if I did it there, a little connecting section. And we'll do a 10 by 10 bend. And that will connect all the way up to there. So I've got to find the snap on it. So let me just bring it down for now. So if I brought it to here. Okay, we're not going to find it there. Nice and simple. So you've kind of got like a loop and a road that splits through the middle. That train line will come around there, up there, and then line up perfectly. Probably sink it down underneath each one to tear down through. So that gives me more space over here to work with. So on this inner side, I might drop some storage areas down. So progressing that way there. Okay, I can't do anything there. I was about to drop some stuff in there then for a second. This road will progress upwards and be the spiral going up the hill. So you've got to be a little bit careful with that. You do have to be a little bit careful with that. I've got to put some stuff there, but I'll also treat that as a loop section there for some storage. We'll connect you down to here. Oh, was I going to stick a roundabout there? No. It was going to be here, sorry. So if I come out to there by 10, come out to here by 10, and just to make it very quick for us, quick connection. There we go. Okay, we go for a little bit of a longer straight section in the middle. Bends through to avoid the roundabout a little bit more, as it then slowly slips down the hill. So roads all over the place. We kind of do need roads all over the place in this area. So We're going to work then with the... I'm going to drop a couple more of these. So I'm going to do one there. I'll do one 3 away. Then another 3 away. Bulks it all up. Storage-wise, well, that's probably the best. The raw mineral storage here, 600,000 capacity. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ooh, okay, it's quite a large building, to be honest with you. So that stores 400,000, which is more of a reasonable size. So I'm going to drop 3 there. That's like a sand storage. So I'll do 1 there. 1 there. So we're starting to have these little smaller storage areas all around. I'll place down some dirt and stuff to kind of fill in all the gaps, and we'll kind of fine-tune the land as well. But then we have these ore industry storage barns. So these themselves are quite interesting because they go long ways on the old storage side. I think we'll save them for a few other little areas. But I do need more kind of areas that do, you know, basically mine. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I need some more buildings that do a little bit more mining. So I think on this straight section, I can maybe get in 1, 2, 3, and a very tip just there, 4. There we go. Pumping them all in. And then we'll go for the small mines. So these are the stuff that kind of just gets us going. So just in smaller areas, we'll add the odd 1 or 2. We'll do 1, 2 just there. We'll then go for the smaller underground mines. Just progress them going down there. And then we start to get this little valley that we all dig up. Now, it still looks quite open and quite wide. And very, very unfinished. But we'll eventually get to that. So we'll first start with the smoothing process. We'll go a little bit bridge on the brush size. Smoothing process right now, just to kind of sort out a lot of this stuff here. So some of it won't be able to be sorted out because we're digging into it. So the stuff that's kind of slightly higher is really easy to kind of maintain, like this area. Because you just got to get it to the same height, basically. That's all you're pretty much doing. That becomes a little bit more easy to maintain. Stuff that digs into areas, not so much. You then gotta you know, really play with the alignments. So this really sinks down because of that going up. So what we'll do, we'll rise this slightly. We'll rise that slightly. I'll raise that. Raise you. Raise that road there. So it's not perfect, but it slightly takes the edge off. It does slightly take the edge off. Stuff like this, what you gotta do here is reduce the brush size down, kind of dig into the mountainside a bit, so you kind of get away from. Oh damn, I'm moving all over the place. You get away from the edge, and then you just smoothen the bottom of it very neatly. Now you do kind of clip the edges there with it. And then we do it again one more, kind of dig in a bit more like that. And then take it from the top. So you're denting the tops back. While also just kind of every so often bulk it out a bit. So you get it to look as even as possible. And because they're slightly sunken down, especially these two, we'll raise that ever so slightly. And it all kind of comes into place. So same with these, real quickly, we'll sort these out. Did I even smooth any of these? No, not really. We'll get all the middles kind of sorted. There we go. And then digging into it, we'll kind of go back deep on some sections. Now the cool thing about these is they allow you to play around with them. In a case of, like, some of it I can make it bulk out to it, and it kind of slightly goes uphill. You just got to play around with the gravel, because sometimes you clip it like that, you can smooth it a bit more, and you kind of get away with it. And then it kind of looks as natural as you can potentially make it. Well, not really. You get the odd bit where it kind of digs up, and that kind of looks like it then carves into it a bit more than the others, especially that one here. That looks really cool. So just small things like that make a big difference. So reducing this down. Bringing that road down as well. Smoothing. Here we go, here we go. And then we'll just quickly do the last little bit here. And I'll focus on some other stuff then. So just do this. Oh, wrong button. Let me undo that. Smoothing from the top of it. And we'll just go into the bottom of it now. And that's fine. I mean, I could go on for days and days and days trying to sort all this out. But we'll leave it for now because there's still so much I've got to do to get worked on. So that's a couple of buildings there. We've got the ability to run down and get all that sorted. And then we're going to work with we'll create this as a little loop road. Our production buildings. So we will have another train station down here too. So I've got to be a bit wary about how I do this. So I think what I need to do... Let me see what the connection tool would do. So the connection tool, if I pushed it all the way out, it would just go for a big loop basically, wouldn't it? But you can get it to, if I do like a 90%, so a 90-degree bend there, and that becomes like a straight road. Is that too much of a shorter road slope? I don't think so in that extent. But again, what I could do here is I could maybe cut out... Oh, actually, do you know what? No, if I kill off that 90-degree turn, if I had this going across, and that's... Oh, how did that mess up at the last minute? Right, to there. Alright, delete that again. If I then go up by a 20, bring this down to the marker here at 68. So it creates this rectangle. What I could do is I could have the train station here central, and then the train line sinks down under both of these roads, which will be elevated, giving us plenty of room. Keeping the main road kind of sorted, and we can then still progress and have our train lines connect. So this is decently flat, this area. So I get to work with it a bit more. Alright, we'll bring you up to... Right, the train line will obviously come down here and then bend this way. So I'll leave this gap kind of currently open. So if I come down by a 30... And if I do it like this... So it all backs onto this road because it's not busy. It's weird how we're getting that happening now, isn't it? It's because it's not perfect though, is it? I think that's the reason. I'm going to bring that over to there. So we get those little kind of cut sections, which I'll delete each of the middle one. And we'll make that one there a bit bigger. So we've got room for all the industrial buildings. Let's just quickly play around with how big they're going to be. So I'm just going to go for the biggest ones. We've got the fiberglass plant that creates the glass, and we got the kiln that makes the metals. The kiln's that big. The fiberglass plant is that big. Right, so how I could do it is a 2 and a 2 on both sides. And then big plant. Actually, if I kind of in the middle, just crisscrossed. There we go. There's a couple of big plants just there thrown down for the fiberglass, and then we need to do for the metals, the big kilns. So we'll run, I mean that's going to run down to there, so in reality then, let's just say I came out here by 20 and ran that way, and a 20 and ran that way. In between these two roads is where that train line's going to run. So if that is 23, if I go to a 13, (10 by 8), no. So that'll run down there, just so I know my spacing. And then we'll do a 10 and run that down there to keep that roadside free. So from this, we'll try and figure something out. So if I leave a 4 space in, and if I leave a 4 space in, and in the middle, I mean, it's either one or the other, so I'll take it from there. So that will then lead up to 20 and straight down. So I've got 3 in just there. It's going to come down, bend around here, through there, out that way. So I've got 3 to play around with just here. So down here, and then obviously it'll probably turn to create a beautiful little kind of harbour area. Now over on this side, we'll place some more of these big boys over here because we've got loads of these ones on this side right now. So by there, we're out by 30. So if I then choose a 20 mark, which should be, again, a fair enough room for the actual roundabout. Alright, 40. There we go. And then connect. There we go. Just kind of following the bend round slightly. And we'll then start with a couple of the... Actually, do you know what? I won't do it like that. We'll bring that in to there. Because that will connect down. And then almost create our little 10 mark. But what I should have done here is bend them to connect. There we go. Yeah, I'll leave that in for just a second. Because what I can do with that. 10 by 10. So yeah, getting carried away right now, aren't I? So if I place my first one there, second one right next to it, there we go. Because goods can come straight down here. On this side, they'll come down via train. And how far did we push up before we bent? It was just a simple 10, then a 10 by 10 bend, wasn't it? Is that truly enough then for... Because that's a bit closer. It actually is, so that's perfectly fine. Alright, get to there. As much as I want to connect it up, 36 for another 10 by 10. I want to also create a couple of straight lines. So I know they're going to be skew-if, but if I did it there, and just here where it's on the straightest parts, we get those little cut-throughs. And what I'll do as well, I'll do like some underpasses, so we don't have to interact with this road, so we can keep that road as free as possible. So we'll drop down then a couple more. So I'll do some on this side. One there, and one just there. And then we're going to start to need some warehouses. So the warehouse is going to store the goods that we do create. Now this is just, you know, version 1. Let's just think of it as version 1 that we're kind of currently working with. Version 1 of this area. Interesting. So for some warehouses then, and we'll go for some big boys. So drop you there. I want to keep that little section there free. So what I'll do is we'll slightly come out here by 10. There we go. So keep that little road there free because that will connect to like this road over here. So we'll have one for the glass, one for the metals. Standard. It's nothing too crazy. It's just very, very basic and simple. We can't really work in this area just yet until we have road connections and stuff like that. But we'll now just kind of quickly just stick out by like 20 there. Create like a little miniature village. If I kill that off, if I do a 10 by 10 bend. Like that. And see, now my problem will be right now, the worker barracks here are really, really big. Oh, okay, so they're not too bad. It's the farming ones are the smallest ones. Which is the really big ones? Is it the oil industry? No, it's the forest industry that has like the really, really big worker barracks. So let's drop a couple of these down. It looks like we're creating like a little miniature city. In many ways. But that's the worker barracks. This is where they all report to early in the morning. And just before they go home for their jobs for the day. Alright, smooth all this out. Nice. Very good. So I can't... Oh, I got to do the maintenance building. Which is actually really small. Well, I say it's really small. It's not small, but it's smaller than everything else. And I'll just quickly drop that there just to kind of have it in and get it out of the way. So this is a good start then. We definitely have some good starts to get set up. We do need to drop down all the roundabouts. There's definitely going to be 1, 2, 3 minimum to begin with. The train line's going to come around, obviously run down through here, bend through there. It will connect to another train line around here, which will probably be on this side, which connects to over there. And also connect to the shipping area too. The train line will also eventually connect up down to the farming industry, so it's all intertwined and connected. We'll eventually get to all of that point. So let's just quickly now get it actually connected to the highway and then get the highway actually then connected. So at least we can kind of get it semi up and running for now. So 10 mark would go here. Is that smack bang with that? Yeah. 10 mark that way. So this is now has just become a universal standard for how we build all of these in Foolsopolis right now. Right, so then we need to elevate all these up. And then it's about a 26, isn't it? Yeah. Boom. That's a 25. Damn it. 26. 26 by 26. This little middle section here becomes into a 2-lane for the lane math. We then have this road here, just then connecting through, we'll anarchy it through. We then have the first 2 on each one bulked up. So that is going that way round, that's going that way round, that's going this way round, that's going to there. And we just need to elevate them. So just very quickly then. So I won't bother too much just yet on setting up all the lane management. Because again, I want to dedicate some time to setting up all the traffic problems that we will eventually have on this all in one episode. Because I feel like that is going to be... So I won't do all the lane math just yet. We'll spend some time, because obviously when I get all this getting done, I need to have some time to have some, like, free mental capacity to be able to understand what we're actually trying to accomplish. What I'll do really quickly now, though, is get this connected. So we are going to copy... No, again, I still need to turn this into an asset. We're going to copy this. And this is going to be our connection over here. So we're going to have to slightly redo all of that. Let me delete this. Alright, there we go. That's perfect there. Oh, pause. I got to delete. I'm about to place it down. I got to delete this. Right, for the 10th gazillionth time. Alright, let me get this running parallel. Is it running parallel? It is now. There we go. So we'll place it... I'll just place it here, and then we'll just work the rest of it all out. So it might be a little bit skewiff and all over the place. But we'll sort it out, guys. Oh, that's a 2-lane road? Oh, no. Oh, this is a 2-lane road. Right, that's going to cause us issues. That really will. This one, well, that one going down to there anyway. We'll bulk this so far. Well, like I said, I need to have an episode dedicated to doing this. So I'm just going to get it connected for now. Just roll with it, okay? Just roll with the connections. I know it doesn't really work. It makes sense, though, because that just is the trumpet that does connect. Right, okay, so I gotcha. Alright, delete all this. And we'll use the connection tool really quickly. So, there to... I can't even see it. There. So there we go. I don't know how this is going to play out. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it won't work because of the spacing. Right, that's okay. Because my new best friend, the parallel mod, will now step into it. Can I not do it the other way? How do I get to... Hang on, hold on. Press tab. Aha! So it was like a 32, wasn't it? Right, add you in. Like I said, I know it's not perfect. But it would do the job. Just for now. So that's all in. It's not perfect. That will eventually connect down to here. Is that a 3-lane highway? Yeah, that's a 3-lane highway. I will upgrade this to a 3-lane highway. It's not a problem. It's just this. It's just this. But what I could do, right, is I could 3-lane it down to here, where 2 lanes turn off, 2 lanes come on, keeping it to a single, which keeps that as a 2, which then goes back into our trumpet. So I can do it. It's not a problem. It just needs a little bit of configuration. So we have that set up right now, which this area can potentially now be all up and running. So at some point, we should then start to see vehicles popping out left, right, and centre. And our ore industry then begins. It then begins, boys. We're up to nearly 250,000 residents within the city, which is quite exciting. So it's now we just played a waiting game. Like I said, they are now connected. A lot of these vehicles are going to get caught up right now in the wrong directions. So what we also need to do then, just to kind of recap, is this highway here where it kind of stops. We'll eventually go around and connect to the end of this. That highway there will eventually go up to connect to the end of that. We'll reconfigure that to make it a bit more bulky. That will come along and create a trumpet connection to here. So it makes it all connected for the highway side of it anyway. The train line will come down the hill, pass through there, go through here where we'll do a connection with a train line bridge going across, which will connect up to this. I'll probably extend this further down. I might run it with the highway. I'll run it to down there, get it to bend round this way and follow the highway rather than cutting through there. So we have a train bridge going across where the train line will connect to it. The train line will also connect to a little kind of shipping harbour we'll create. And the train line that comes all the way over will be also go round to connect over to here, this industry. So we created like a big loop for the train line as well. So again, we're just playing the waiting game. We have our first vehicle doing a little bit of a UE. But we have an ore industry. Now, granted, we've got to do so much to get passengers over here. That's burnt to a crisp. Do we have public transport over here anyway? We don't even have public transport over here anyway. But once we get a train line connected, maybe we can do a rural passenger train line to get to these areas. And at some point, we do need to start building like a little miniature town of some sort to be able to supplement all the workers, you know, working and eventually living over here. So this has been kind of closed off for the longest time. Oh, that's why they're not working, because there's no natural resources. I completely forgot about that. So ore, we'll quickly pause. So we'll kind of just go up the mountain like this for now. So it does make it like a very, very dark green, doesn't it? Do I just paint the whole area? I've got to drop down some trees and stuff. I could kind of keep all this here. Not the same. Maybe. Who knows? But the Foolsopolis brush. On the tree. Yeah, we reduce the strength. Get some trees up into the hills. Definitely covering these little areas just there. And then a couple of trees for the mining side. More for the road area as we progress up. And then we'll up the strength slightly for the highway. So we'll still play around with it. I do want to also play around with the is it gravel or sand that we've was working with? It was definitely this gravel, wasn't it? So like for the mining area, I think it would be a good idea. Oh, does that completely paint over the road? I think it's because it's this style of road, isn't it? But that's kind of cool though, having the gravel slightly overspill the road. It's as if some gravel kind of fell off the back of the trucks when the trucks were driving out of the area. Makes you feel more like a building site, doesn't it? So we'll definitely play around with the painting of all that kind of stuff. Definitely fill in all of this, and then we can use it to kind of go close to the edging of the kind of hills. We'll get rid of the trees, but then make it all feel inclusive of why we've like dug in so much to the area. We'll just play around with that kind of stuff. That's what comes quite cool about the ore industry. So I'm liking how you can slightly paint over that little path. Not the path, sorry, the road. So, like I said, we'll play around with it. I don't want to do too much today, but I'm just going to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Doesn't actually look too bad. So, now we've got the ore then. Are we starting to see vehicles popping up just yet? Not yet. We do have workers, but I assume they've got to get over here to begin with. So it's just a case of... Oh, I'm in pause mode, that's why. I'm in pause mode. So do we start to see vehicles now popping out? I actually do like the fact that it looks like it overspills, doesn't it? It does look like it slightly overspills. But we'll see what happens as time goes on. This is the beginning of our ore industry. The second industry in Foolsopolis right now. So we'll see how it all comes together. We've got to build so much more infrastructure, get it all set up. But there's nothing else we can do right now while we're waiting for all this zoning to be built. It says we have a commercial and industrial demand. So maybe we can start putting more of it down. But I know we're not going to have a residential demand for quite some time. So yeah, I understand it's throwing it all down. What is the job situation like anyway? Okay, so we need more residents. So hold out on this for just a minute. Because we're 11% unemployed. Once I can get public transport over here, I think it would all be good. It'll be classic. Ah, there we go. Now we're starting to see vehicles popping out. There we go, boys. There we go. They're driving through bits of the gravel. Nice. So we'll fine-tune it a lot more. It's the beginning. It's quite a big work in progress, and we'll see how it all goes. But it's going to be another sweet little money maker in the Foolsopolis. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.